Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Moment with NCDHH. Again, we wanted to put together a couple of little video podcast moments that you can get to know the advocacy specialists of the Nebraska Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Today, we are going to discuss board games, or rather, board game strategy. I know a lot of us have had moments where we're a little bit stir crazy inside, playing some board games, thinking up some fun ways to do things. Today we are going to discuss our strategy for the game of Monopoly. We will start with Kim over in our Lincoln office. Kim, go ahead and take it away.
Hello everyone. Monopoly. Yes, it's been a long time since I've played Monopoly. And the sign for that is this, because you're grabbing onto everything you can in that game. That's the strategy. So you start playing by trying to buy as much property as you possibly can. But I'll tell you what, I avoid those utilities. Electric, water, they're not worth buying in my opinion. Maybe at the end if they're still available, but you're trying to grab all the property you can. I also try to avoid going to jail at the beginning of the game because you want to go ahead and have those opportunities to buy as much property as possible. So you're trying to grab money from the other players that land on your property. Most of the property you typically focus on are for me, the orange colored ones. If I remember, I always wanted those orange colored because you got more profit. Rather than Broadway and Parkway, those blue ones that are near the go, you think those are going to be great, but no, you're going to get more profit from the orange properties than you will those blue properties. And then back to jail at the beginning. Once you've got plenty of property and you've bought property from other players and you've got hotels and houses placed on as much as you can so you can get as much profit as you can, you go to jail, who cares? You can stay in jail because you don't have to continue paying other players when you land on their properties or risk losing money. So that's, I guess, my strategy. There you go.
That's great. I like that. I didn't know the sign was Monopoly. I like that. Next, we're going to go over to Kathy over in the North Platte office. Maybe she has something different.
Okay, my strategy for Monopoly. Well, as a general rule, I love playing all board and card games. I'm competitive. I play to win. I am a good loser, and I have a lot of fun while laughing and having conversations while we're playing. I have to admit that Monopoly is my least favorite board game. And that's probably due to having a super competitive sister. My sister always had to be the person to first pick the player, the game piece. We didn't know yet about being able to roll the dice and to be able to choose who was going to choose anything first. When we were young, she always played to win in any game, and she is not a good winner. She's not a good loser. She would have bad temper tantrums, pouting, all that kind of things. In Monopoly, she always had to be the banker, and if she wasn't winning, she would cheat. This left a bad taste in my mouth for Monopoly, and so my strategy for Monopoly is threefold. Number one, avoid playing at all costs. I volunteer to be the one to get drinks and snacks. I am conveniently gone when the game starts. Number two, I volunteer to be the banker without playing the game. That way there's an impartial banker, nobody has opportunity to cheat, and if there are disputes, I get to be that final say, to be the judge. And number three, if I can't get out of playing, my strategy is play to lose. I buy everything that there is available to buy with no regard to cash on hand. Then I will mortgage and sell properties until I'm out. That's the way I play Monopoly. Thanks, Aaron.
I like it. Try to be the overseer to make sure that there's no fighting amongst friends. That's a good way to do it. Next up, let's jump over to Cody over in the Omaha office.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, playing the game Monopoly over the years, I've learned a lot, really, from real life. It's similar to Monopoly, taking over businesses like how Walmart takes over in places and Amazon. It's the same example. And then there's Sam's Club. Sam's Club is under Walmart. So, and they're like taking over everything, and they're buying everything else. So the strategy is similar to real life. Buy everything, form a conglomerate, playing with family. I have 3 key roles in trying to win. First of all, build alliances and make deals. Secondly, if you break a deal, then blackmail is involved. For example, preteen playing, they start getting ahead. Well, you got to do some chores. You're going to maybe have to do some chores. So we take this game pretty serious. It's real life. So, whether or not we're letting people go and firing people. Then third, what's my third strategy? Well, I guess just the two. Play dirty, play to win, control everything else. You learn that from CEOs, and so you bring that to the game, same thing.
Ruthless capitalism. I like it. Sometimes that's the way it needs to be. Let's jump over to Dylan to see if he has something different to say about it. You're up, Dylan.
I play a lot of different Monopoly games over the years. There's different rules, different games. I'm not too crazy about the board game. Takes forever. You got to give 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to that game. And then at the end of the night, it breaks relationships with families and friends. I want to go to sleep at night happy. So I like to play Monopoly Deal. So it's a card game. It's fast. Every game's under about 10, 15 minutes. There's no angst. But anyway, that aside, my strategy is to invest. To win, you've got to invest. You got to get out of it what you want. You want to win, you got to invest in houses, hotels. You have to pay for quality. So if you're buying property and you leave it as it is, you're not going to get any money and you're going to lose. You got to invest to get ahead of your opponents. So there you go. That's my strategy.
I like it. I did not know that there was a card version of the game Monopoly. I'll have to check that out. Finally, we get to me. I like to go about this very statistically. Remember that the warship is oftentimes thought of to be the best piece, but no, it is the hat. Sometimes people like to go with the thimble. They are wrong, very wrong. The dog is also a good choice, but the winner is always the hat. Remember though, if you are changing up versions and going to a different version of Monopoly, such as a Harry Potter version or a Star Wars version, you have to think about what you want to do then instead. Next, as some would say, the best way to win Monopoly is to not play at all. Therefore, what I like to do when I play Monopoly is I like to enlist and pay people to play Monopoly for me. That way, I get to reap the benefits of winning without actually having to do the work. If you have everyone at the table playing for you, there's no way to lose. Finally, oftentimes we like to discuss house rules. When I play, I like to have the free parking have money for me, not anyone else, just for me. In fact, I often, when I play my home rules, have every single spot that I land on gives me money. That way I can drain out the bank as quick as possible without fear or concern. Other than that, sometimes it's best just to pile up. Therefore, when we play, we only play with one hotel. Just one singular hotel, no houses. That way no one can actually put any of the pieces on there. The best way to go. Finally, if nothing else works, the old tried and true method. Grab, flip the board, and walk out with your head held high. With that, that is the end of our episode. We'd like to thank our staff interpreter, Sharon Sinkler, for helping us along. And we'd like to thank all the different people for watching. Have a nice day, everyone.